were finishing their breakfast shortly after 7 o'clock, George's father had left the table. He was standing at the window looking out at the dam, and he saw a section of the dam on the east side slip away, slip downstream, a section probably as long as this bus of earth that just was soaked up, soggy, had become plastic and fluid and slipped away from the dam. He called George. "What ails the dam?" George came to the window and looked, saw what was happening, bolted out of his cottage, down to the dam, opened the gate. The gate was a pipe 16 inches in diameter. He let that on full. Letting on a 16-inch pipe full released 2.5 backyard swimming pools every 3 minutes. That was a lot of water. That would have that's 40,000 gallons of water every 3 minutes. That would have raised the stream considerably and would account for the first wave, the first evidence, the first alarm when the water rose in Williamsburg. It would have taken a long time to drain the reservoir. When the gate was first let on, a tremendous volume of water because of the pressure would go out. In fact, Peter and I kind of laughed when he first opened the gate. Probably it went halfway to Williamsburg before it hit the ground. But in the meantime, George's father cut him a switch. He bridled his horse, not a good horse to ride, a ride which caused him to suffer for many days afterwards. But he jumped on the horse without a saddle and rode to Williamsburg, just over 3 miles, a descent of about 300 feet. And that was the beginning of the Williamsburg disaster. The only one who really saw it burst, except maybe the children, was George Cheney's wife. Just about like that was where Cheney's house was. And when he took off and his wife sat there on the porch and watched this happen. And later she described to the coroner that it seemed to burst at the bottom and lifted the dam up. The pressure coming out raised the top part of the dam up. So it didn't come over the top and wash the dam away. It burst at the bottom. That's where it was waterlogged. The winter ice, ground frost had loosened it, softened it, where water had for 9 years seeped through this poorly mortared wall, maybe seeped under it, but in any case weakened channels. Cheney described that there were streams coming through the dam as thick as his arm. So I mean, that's quite a lot of water coming right through the dam at several points, and more coming all the time. But in any event, his wife was sitting on the porch, and she was the only one who really saw this and described to the coroner how it broke and what a thunderous noise it made when it broke. If you take a pail of water and you throw it hits the ground, does a belly flopper, and make quite a crack. Well, here was a 40-foot wall of water and all the earth and stone and everything that went with it. And when it hit the ground, it was an earthquake. It was heard in Goshen and 5 miles away. So it was really quite an event. Her mother, and her mother-in-law, was nauseated by the idea that the dam was going to go. She couldn't bear to watch. She felt sick to her stomach. Some of the descriptions that we have of the advancing floodwaters was a wall of debris. Trees, later houses were incorporated, not to mention domestic animals and humans. But a wall of debris, sort of a dam pushed by this great surge of water, rolling over and over, grinding, milling, Again, I mentioned it's about 3 miles from the Williamsburg Church, just over 3 miles to the dam. Don't know how long that would have taken the water to cover that distance, but it was dropping an elevation of 300 feet. It went just as fast as it could, for sure. It may be that Cheney left the dam site about 7:20. It may be that the floodwaters entered Williamsburg about 7:40. A wristwatch was found from Skinnerville or Hadeville, and I'm not sure. It was stopped at 8:03. I don't know if it was on daylight savings time or standard time. A telegram was sent to Northampton at 8 o'clock. The telegraph wires along the railroad tracks were unaffected. Telegram was received in Northampton. I don't have the precise time on that, but there was a telegram that went. Probably the time on that was railroad time was probably as accurate as any time. So that would be a good marker. As near as anybody can reckon, the worst of the water passed a static point in Williamsburg in 15 minutes.
My goodness.
If you can calculate volumes and try to imagine 2,200 acre feet of water passing through this gorge right here in 15 minutes. An acre foot's an acre of water 1 foot deep.